But to make a long story short, these individuals doing stuff on their own. You know, they sitting amongst each other doing this, doing that. And some guys came to me one time and they was asking me about some gang stuff and this, that, and the other. I said, what are you talking about? And they were saying some stuff that Snoopdogg and Kevin Gates and them was saying and all that. I said, I ain't saying no stuff. I'm not even, no, I said, I know some people in some gangs, but no. And I ain't recruited. I have not recruited anybody or anything. They was like, what's up with them tattoos? I said, no. I said, Kevin Gates and Birdman knew I knew how to do tattoos. They knew I knew how to do piercings. They knew I knew how to put gold teeth in mouth. You know, at the same time, I had a title as a physician and an attorney, too. You know, I was sworn in many generaries. You know, so they said, what kind of tattoo you want? You know, everybody else getting little regular tattoos and all that type stuff. So him and Birdman told me they wanted some teardrop. I said, why you want to do that? Like you crying or something? What that mean? I did not know what I don't know. I didn't know what it mean. And then this other dude came and said that mean that they bisexual and mean that they been in jail or something like that. That's what he said. Somebody told him it meant. You know, I said, but that's all I had did. You know, I said, I don't know. I said, that's what they said they wanted. And I had did Chris Brown a tattoo, but it wasn't no gang tattoo or anything. And then I had did Nelly and a couple of more people, but it wasn't no gang affiliation type stuff or none of that stuff, you know. And what pissed me off is that they was trying to put me in something I had no knowledge of. The first time I ever heard of a gang called the Crip was because of Nipsey Hussle. He the one, Nipsey Hussle, his youngest brother. Well, Nipsey brother was, when we was 11 years old, Nipsey was the one talking about the gang, Crips, and all this other stuff, and this, that, and the other. I'm like, what you talking about? And I really did, you know. And he kept talking about I had to be his girlfriend and all this other stuff, and it was just, you know, we was kids, you know. And that was just pretty much it right there. Wasn't no Snoop Dogg around or any. I didn't know Calvin. When he came around, he started saying his name was Calvin. But actually where they used to live at, I really could not tell you. I don't know. I don't even know how long Calvin was around with Snoop Dogg, because he was always around Brendan them apartment. And I don't know when he came in town or when he was with Calvin them. I mean with Nipsey Hussle and his brothers or what. You know, and I didn't meet their oldest brother until like going towards, I say by the time we got up a little older, you know. And that was pretty much it, you know. And, but I had nothing to do with, like nothing to do, because all them people had started asking me. And then not make it so bad when Snoop and Kevin Gates was doing what they was doing. You know, they made people get in their business for lying on. I wasn't the only person that they lied on. You know, they caused so many problems unnecessarily, and Kevin Gates and Snoop Dogg kept praying on, you know, Trey Songz's auntie, but at the same time, she was using them too, and Nelly. You know, was telling them to do this, do that, start commotion and all that other stuff. You know what? They didn't care. They did not care. You know, and it really just didn't make any sense whatsoever. You know, when wasn't nobody bothering them, wasn't trying to be around them no more or anything, and they kept continuously coming around people who wasn't trying to be bothered with them. They knew the whole time what was going on. You know, they knew what they were doing. They were well aware of their actions and all the crimes that they committed in East St. Louis, Illinois. They knew what they were doing. And then they tried to cover up and try to make it seem like this or go somewhere else and act like they, you know, they was just trying to cover up stuff that had already been known. And all they did was add more and more people into stuff that had no knowledge of what was going on. Didn't know nothing really. They knew bits and pieces of stuff. And everybody know that, you know, that's what it was. And then even to the point where it's that, the dude had said something to Tiny about it, T.I. and Tiny them, and they were saying they was vice lords, because Birdman was saying that Tiny them was Bloods like him. And Tiny and T.I. kept saying, nah, they turned Vice Lord. Then Hatch and Thatch and them had came, was like, and the other guys like, who told y'all was a Vice Lord? Got told us some stuff with Cece, but when Cece was telling them, I got to tell the truth in this too. When Cece and them was telling them they could be Vice Lords and do all that, and I say, Cece, I say, remember when Thatch and Hatch and them told you about that stuff? And why, who the hell keep telling you one? Why the hell you keep acting like that and keep then going to other hoods saying you GD, then you saying you Vice Lord? What you know? Why y'all cause unnecessary problems? Then y'all don't know no laws. Y'all don't know this. Y'all don't know that. And y'all keeping up stuff. And that's how that conversation went. And then, but the reason why I'm bringing it up, because they kept trying to bring up my name in the conversations as if I didn't have anything to do with any of that, you know. And that's because when that happened, I was already mad because Kevin Gates, Snoopdogg, Kamora Lee Simmons, that's what I'm talking about, John Master J, they had took my baby, kidnapped my baby. And I don't even know how they got in my apartment. I didn't let them in. I didn't let them in. And then make it so bad, you know what? All this stuff was coming up, and it was somebody, they was lying, acting like somebody else was with them because it was dark in the room and all this other stuff. But all the time, come to find out, it was just them. And Drake kept trying to play that role with Dracula, and all the time somebody else had seen Drake out there by the bushes that was across the street. That was Drake in the bushes. He was just watching the whole thing go down, trying to find some way that Auntie Anthea possibly would have been able to get him some money. They know what they did. And I was looking for my baby. Then Kamora Lee Simmons kept lying. Went up to the courthouse trying to say that her daughter, one of her daughters, was mine. She went to the Social Security office with that stuff and all types of stuff. You know, Kevin Gates turned on his own mama because his mama was telling the truth, trying to straighten the stuff out. And then they said Babyface had to do it, was telling them to do it, and Babyface had went over there and hit Ike because they said Ike said this, that, and the other. But come to find out, Ike was saying stuff, Ike Sanders II. Because he told them X, Y, Z, this, that, and the other. I'm going to end it here. This is an ongoing investigation. It was never over. Had my baby girl in 1984. Winter of 84.